Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. Before I commence today's class, I would like you to ponder on some questions. That what are the biggest natural calamities we have faced this year? I know I'm again asking about this year, and this year has been what I could call as a year of mishaps or mishappenings. But if you remember, there were several natural calamities which happened, including bushfire, forest fires. What do you think? What is the consequences or aftermath of bushfires or forest fires? What will happen if the forest fires are frequent or they are damaging large part of the forest, or what is the consequences to plants and animals? Now, as we know that, if you remember in your class 7 that we studied about the chapter forest. Forest, you know, that is not only provide oxygen to us but is helpful in many ways. One of the way is that it is a habitat for many plants and animals. Means it completes all the needs of plants and animals and make their life possible. Now, what is happening when the forest fires are frequent and if they are damaging large part of forest, then these plants and animals are also affected because their forests are the habitat for plants and animals. Now, due to this, the process of extinction has sped up. Means extinction means number of organisms decreasing day by day, that there is not a single animal left of that particular species, then we call it as extinction. We are going to deal with this in this chapter only. But before that, I would like you to ponder on this, that what is the consequences of this and how we can deal with that. And this chapter is completely dedicated to this topic only, and therefore the name of the chapter is Conservation Plants and Animals. So as you can see, the topic is conservation of plants and animals. Why we need to conserve these plants and animals, and what will happen if they are not present on earth? Before I move further into the chapter, I would like to tell you some facts that the life started on earth around 3.5 billion years ago, and for large time only plants and animals were dominant on earth, and human came very late on earth. So it's not only our earth, only humans cannot dominate on earth, but plants and animals should also get chance to survive on earth. Now, what is why they are needed and what is their importance? We are going to discuss that in the class. Before that, I would like to discuss on one point, that is biodiversity. What is biodiversity and why it is important? Biodiversity. Biodiversity is made up of two words: biological diversity. Biological means related to life, and diversity means variety. So biodiversity is related to the kind of life the earth has, means there are variety of plants and animals which are living on earth. Therefore, it is called as biodiversity, means in a particular habitat what are the different type of plants and animals that are found. Now, if you remember in your class 6, you have studied about habitats. Habitats means the place where the plants and animals are living. And if you remember, there are different type of habitats like terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. In terrestrial habitat also there are forest habitat, there is grasslands, there is deserts, and every habitat has different type of life forms. Means there is not only one kind of animal or one kind of plant that is been found in this place, but there are variety of plants and animals that are found, and therefore they are biologically diverse. Means these places are biodiversity. Now, not all the places on earth are very dynamically, biologically diverse. Some places are having less biodiversity, some places are having very high biodiversity, and these places are called as mega biodiversity, and India is one of that place which is being included into out of 17 mega biodiversity places. So we are discussing about biodiversity here, and the plants are called as flora and animals are called as fauna. So India is a mega biodiversity region. Why India is called mega biodiversity region? Because India has a lot of different life forms which is present here. So we have seen that what is biodiversity and what is the importance of biodiversity. Biodiversity is very important because these plants and animals which are living in a particular habitat have their importance. Means even if they are small or large, it doesn't matter with the size, they all play a very important role in making their survival and in the natural balance. So it is very important that they are present in each and every part of the ecosystem. But now what is happening? But this biodiversity is losing day by day. Means the biodiversity regions are affected due to many human activities which are affecting the plants and animals that are present on a particular area. Means these plants and animals are affected day by day. So it's not only natural causes. I know I have started with the natural causes like forest fires or sometimes earthquake or landslides, but it is the major role is played by the human intervention, that is human activities. In this chapter we are going to start with one of the such activity which is the biggest threat to the ecological diversity these days. Let's discuss that is deforestation. So as I have talked about that the loss of biodiversity is happening, and that is happening due to both natural and man-made causes. We have already seen, or we have just talked about the natural causes like forest fires, natural calamities like earthquake, and man-made causes. Man-made causes like deforestation, this is one of the reason which is including various reason in its only. Means deforestation is one of the biggest reason why the loss of biodiversity is happening by man. Means how man is playing a big role in deforestation. So the next topic we are going to discuss is deforestation. Deforestation. D means removal of forest. So deforestation, what is the meaning of that? It is the massive cutting of trees. So the massive cutting of forest is called deforestation. The massive cutting may lead to lot of reasons. It is not only one or two reasons, but there are a lot of reasons which is the cause of deforestation. So first we are going to discuss with the causes of deforestation, that what is the causes of deforestation. So the causes of deforestation are, if you remember the chapter forest, if you remember, the different useful things that we get from the forest is the reason why the forests are cut. Means wood as fuel. Wood as fuel and timber. So the major reason why forests are cut is due to get the wood for the timber process, that is for making furniture, for making houses, and for using as fuel. Then comes the biggest reason, that one of the biggest reason, that is agriculture or cultivation. Now you wonder why agriculture can be so harmful for forest. I know agriculture provides us food, that's why we are surviving, but at what cost? By clearing the land, and what the land is already occupied with the forest. If you go back to time around 200-300 years back, or else just go back 100 years ago, you will see that there were a lot of forests found in many places. Even India, there were a lot of places which were densely covered with forest. But as soon as the population started increasing, the need for the land started increasing. Why the need increased? The need increased to feed these people, to make a place living for these people. So the land was required, and the land was in the forest. So the forests were cut aggressively, and the land was made clear to do the agriculture and to make homes and various kind of things, so that the people, human beings, can enjoy and can live. But at what cost? Forests are being cut. So agriculture or cultivation is the biggest cause of deforestation. Number of hectares of the forest are cut every single second to make it clear for the people to live or to grow their crops. The next reason is industrialization. Now you know that everything has a benefit also and some harmful effect also. Industrialization, I think you may have studied in your history classes, when boom of industries happened, means when factories, there was a large spurge of factories and industry took place, because they were making products at a shorter time but in a large amount, due to which many things were possible due to industry. Means I think we were able to even study because of the different machines, because these machines were used to take very less time and they used to produce large amount of the products. So industrialization made life very easy and comfortable for people, because large number of things can be made, therefore these things were cheaper. Earlier, when the hands were used to make things, the things were very less and very costly, so not every people used to afford them. मतलब जब चीजें मशीन से नहीं बनती थी, उस वक्त चीजों के दाम भी बहुत महंगे थे और वो सभी लोगों की पहुंच तक नहीं थी. बट जब इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हुआ, तब से इंडस्ट्रीज में, फैक्ट्रीज में जो चीजें बनने लग गई, तो उनकी संख्या बढ़ गई और हम धीरे धीरे ये सारी चीजें सबके पास पहुंचने लग गई. तो ये इसने हमारी लाइफ को बहुत कंफर्टेबल किया है. बट अगेन ऑन व्हाट कॉस्ट? By causing deforestation. Means to set up factories and industries, the forests were cleared and industries were set up, therefore the forests were cut. Now this forest, once cut, is gone. You cannot like replace them with anything. Once forest was cut, the problems increased. We'll come to that later on. Then what were the other causes? That is urbanization. Now what is urbanization? Urbanization is movement of people from rural areas to the urban areas. Means the places went for the process of urbanization. If you remember, when early people started living, they used to live in very small groups. बहुत छोटे groups में रहते थे. They used to live in very small groups and they were not having enough space for living. The reason was that because they were not able to grow their food. So they used to depend upon forest, they used to go into forest, hunt or gather, used to bring that food, and they were dependent on that only. But as they started growing food, then they started living a sedentary life. Means from nomadic life, sedentary life took place, and that was only due to cultivation or agriculture. Now this process kept on going, means the smaller groups converted into bigger groups. People started living in a bigger group so that they can live at one place and can grow their crops. Later on, the bigger groups converted into villages. Villages then soon converted into towns with more facilities. The towns were converted into cities and metropolitan cities, and you can see the consequences. People are moving towards the city. Why? Because the cities are having much better facilities as compared to villages. Nobody wants to live in village, especially when they are very young, because they want to explore themselves. They want to have all the facility, all the things they want, and they think the only answer is the cities. So cities are expanding. The cities were smaller, but they start expanding, as you can see in the case of Delhi. Now Delhi is not only remained into Delhi. The urbanization process has increased to Noida and Faridabad and many other places. So the size of the cities were increasing due to the people, more and more people are living in cities, and therefore the urbanization process took place. Now since the city is growing rapidly, it is taking up the area which is forest earlier. So the forests are cleared and the places were made to become habitat for the human beings. So there were shopping complexes made, schools made, and many more things were made, apartments were made. So the urbanization process also led to deforestation. Apart from these, construction of dams, roads, and many other type of construction, many things will be included into that. Apart from this, then comes mining. Mining also is paving a big way towards deforestation. Mining means mining of coal, mining of different minerals. Why these minerals are excavated from the ground? To make our life comfortable. As we are living, we are growing day by day, our needs are increasing, and we are depending on these minerals, these metals, non-metals for our better survival. So these are extracted from the land, and for that again forests are cut. So as we have seen that deforestation, which is caused by so many reasons, is leading to the massive cutting of trees. Large number of plants are cut every day, every second, to make our life easy and comfortable. And if we are living a comfortable life, that means we are living on the cost of these trees. Now just remember what we have studied in class 7. What are all those importance we have studied about forest in our class 7. And just try to imagine that if earth were not having trees, if earth, the forest cover is vanished, what will happen? What are the consequences of deforestation? So in the first part we have discussed about the causes of deforestation, that is both natural and man-made causes. In that we have discussed about various causes. Let me discuss more about one, that is forest fires. We have seen enough example of forest fire in this year, like the Amazon rainforest fires and the Australian bushfire, and even India, the Uttarakhand faced forest fires. These forest fires, the reasons could be natural also and man-made also. So before I move back to the next part, let me discuss about forest fire and how they are a big reason for deforestation. Forest fires could be triggered both by natural and man-made causes. Now the natural reason is if during summers when the temperature is very high and the moisture is very less, at that time due to lightning or due to some other natural reasons, sparks are formed and which lead to the forest fire. As the trees are very dry and there is no other way to stop the fire, it rapidly increases to large area, damaging the forest. And sometimes even it is happened due to man-made reasons. Means sometimes when people are going into the forest, they are partying there, they are doing picnic over there, or they are doing many other activities. They often leave the fire unattended. Like if they're moving away, they don't extinguish the fire. This fire, if it is left accidentally, may also trigger to the forest fires. So the reason could be both natural and man-made, but both leads to forest fires. And forest fires, as we have seen, are very difficult to manage. Means since the fuel is trees only, it increases the fire is rapidly spread to large areas, not only damaging the trees but also causing havoc to plants, other animals and other life forms that is present in the forest. So all these things are leading to deforestation. Deforestation is the biggest natural threat to the nature these days. How is this threat? We are going to deal that in the next part of this class. Now let's discuss the consequences of deforestation. Consequences or harmful effects or aftermath all mean the same. So what are the consequences of deforestation? Mean that if forests are cut from a certain area, what are the harmful effects it can produce? Now as we know that the trees are not only cut from one small area and in other places it is kept intact, but at every place which used to have forest around 100 years ago are now finding themselves turned into cities, or many other large apartments are made, or offices are made, or many other human activities are done over there. So the cover area of forest is decreasing day by day. So as I've already told you, just remember the importance of forest and just see if forests are not there, what would happen. So as we know that forest makes our nature balanced, so that balance will be disturbed. Balance is very important in our nature. Every plant, every animal, every life form is here due to some reason. It is not that they are not important. If we look upon some plant or animal, if we see that they are not important, that is not the truth. Every single living form has its importance, and therefore they are very important for the ecological diversity or biodiversity. Now if we are damaging forest, what will happen? This natural balance will be disturbed. Apart from that, what else will happen? The balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen will be disturbed. Now you know that only plants are the one who gives oxygen. All other life forms, living few species here and there, are producing carbon dioxide. So only plants are producing oxygen, else everyone is using oxygen. So if we are cutting down the trees, then there are no production of oxygen, and the oxygen which is so important for us, like for our breathing, for combustion, will be not there, which will make our life very difficult. Just imagine if you have to live without air for even 5 minutes, how it will be your life. You can live without water, you can live without food for many days, but living without oxygen would not have been possible even for 5 to 10 minutes. So that balance will be disturbed. There will be more carbon dioxide and there will be less oxygen. Now this is what is happening right now. More and more carbon dioxide is being added into the atmosphere, and which is causing the greenhouse effect, leading to global warming. Once I have completed with the consequences of deforestation, I will touch the global warming topic again. So one of the biggest consequence of deforestation is the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen will be disturbed. Next comes soil erosion. If you remember, the soil is kept intact due to the roots of the trees that is found in the forest. So what will happen if there are no trees at all? The fertile layer or the top soil, the layer of soil which is having humus, will be washed off due to rain and wind. So that will lead to the soil erosion. If you don't remember what is soil erosion, let me come to that. Soil erosion is the wiping away or eroding away of the top layer of the soil. In your class 7th, you have studied about the different profiles of the soil. That the first layer consists of the soil which is topsoil, which is rich in humus, and the plants grow in this soil. So what will happen? If there is no root, there will be no plants, this soil will be easily washed off. Now I'll give you one example. Just take 2 trays and fill it with soil. Any soil will do. The soil which is present in the garden or the pot soil which you use for gardening can be helpful in this. So just fill the soil in the tray, and in one tray try to grow some plants, the small plants like grasses and all, and let it grow for 3 to 4 days or maybe 1 week, and then just do this activity. For that, just position the trays tilted, means something like this. They should be tilted. The tray should be tilted. In one you have placed only the soil, whereas in the other one the plants are there, few plants are there, and try to water this soil with the help of a watering can, so that you are not just putting the water with the force but sprinkling of water is happening. मतलब पानी को जोर से ना फेंकने के बजाय उस पे स्प्रिंकल करना है इन दोनों ही ट्रे में. What you will see below the tray is that there will be lot of water and soil washed at the end of the tray, whereas there will be less water and less soil in the tray B. So this shows that the soil, if it is having plants, if it is roots are present due to plants, that not only hold the soil together, not let it erode easily, but also absorb the water, making the groundwater. So the next consequence due to the deforestation will be depletion of water table. Since there will be no roots which will hold the water, therefore the water table will be depleted. So deforestation is leading to the depletion of water table. Now what are the next consequences? As we know that the forest cools the temperature, it helps in rainfall. So there will be less rainfall if there is no trees. Climate will be hampered. Reduction in the forest products. So all those things on which we are dependent on forests, so if the forests are not there, those things will not be present. For example, in the fuel we are using the trees for our stationery, medicines, gum, resins. All this will not be available if the forests are not there. So there are so many consequences of deforestation. These consequences, writing them on the blackboard is quite easy, but just imagine them. If these consequences reaches to their ultimate level, what will happen? For example, I am going to discuss more about the consequences which is due to the imbalancing of carbon dioxide and oxygen, which we have discussed in our previous chapter also, that is global warming and greenhouse effect. But I am going to discuss here also that how forest plays a very important role in reducing global warming. So if the forests are not there, this global warming is increasing day by day. So the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen disturbs, means there will be increase in carbon dioxide leading to greenhouse effect. I hope you remember what is greenhouse effect. Write the definition of greenhouse effect again into your notebook, and this greenhouse effect will lead to global warming. Global warming, I am again repeating the definition of global warming and how carbon dioxide is helpful in global warming. Greenhouse effect and global warming are two different things. Greenhouse effect is just trapping of sun radiation by the greenhouse gases. For example, carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane. These are some of the gases which are absorbing carbon dioxide and is not letting carbon dioxide escape from the earth. Now what is happening? More carbon dioxide means more heat is trapped, leading to the increase in the temperature of earth. This increase in the temperature is leading to global warming. Global warming is a phenomenon where globe is warming, means our earth is warming up. Now, was our earth not warmed enough? Yes, earth was warmed enough to sustain a life due to the presence of carbon dioxide. But due to deforestation, the temperature is rising day by day. Even the slight increase in the temperature of earth will lead to give a lot of such consequences which is unimaginable. Means global warming is the increase in the temperature of earth which is leading to lot of effects which we are going to discuss later on. So this is about the consequences of deforestation.